Good morning, everyone. It's Evan. Today's Saturday, June 27th. It's 9:16:08 a.m. CT. And I had a dream last night, which is not normal for me. Like, I usually don't have sleep like that or dream. Hmm. It's not often that I do that. I was in a lot of pain last night from my spasms. I woke up late and took baclofen. It was hard for me to even get up and go get my medicine. I was already dealing with being too tired to get up and use the restroom, even though I had a diaper on. So I got up, used the restroom, got back into bed, and forgot while I was up to get my medicine. So eventually I got up, took my medicine. So I took it kind of late. I am drowsy right now, and I don't want to be drowsy, but what I want and what my body wants are, I've learned, two entirely different things. I want to get my day going, brush my teeth, dust myself off, do some light chores, and organize my space, and go to the library and get ahead on homework. And what my body wants is still shake off the drowsiness and take it easy, I guess. And I just want to get up and go. So I was looking into the story of, I believe his name is Nick Scott, last night. And I've seen some of his videos before, but more like the short snippet videos. And I actually watched like a longer video and was actually able to watch it on my new tablet from the VA. The VA gave me this new tablet yesterday. I got it and I got a bunch of equipment. And I was like, this morning, I used the blood pressure monitor, the heart rate cuff. And then this morning, I was like, I want to use the scale and the stethoscope and the ear thermometer that they gave me. They're still boxed, and I was just like, well, maybe I'll just do an unboxing video later. So that's just where I'm at. I'll probably do a video later. And anyways, I saw the video of Nick Scott, and he basically dealt with essentially what I'm dealing with altogether. Like, I had my workplace injury, and then following that, I had another injury. So both were near fatal injuries. And Nick Scott, he basically had like all my injuries and all my incidents in one. Like, he was operating a vehicle, and from what I gathered, one of the tires blew out, and he was doing everything to what what he explained in his mind was, I guess, I don't think it was really avoid what was about to happen. He didn't have much control, but from what I gather, the bit of control he did had, he used to potentially already save this woman's life, to save the other driver, the impact. And since he chose to not collide with the other driver, his vehicle turned over, and while he was midair, his own vehicle actually struck him in the air, like struck him struck his body. I would say his back, but I don't know. I think it just struck his body. And me, I actually have always heard and been more in tune with, like, I absorbed every little thing that's ever happened to me. I've absorbed it, I processed it, I was aware of, hearing everything from head to toe that cracked to even my tooth and my teeth. Like, I heard it all, I felt it all, I saw it all, I experienced it all. But from what he explains, he said he just experienced a bunch of peace. Like, he was just in a state of just peace. And until, I suppose, those life saving measures were taken, did he really start to feel the impact of the pain. And ultimately, like, I can relate in so many ways, but ultimately, he did not allow these incidents to like hinder his ability to live life. And it felt like that. And he said, he wasn't going to really allow all of that to really set permanently, like, set the pace of his life, that he was in charge of the course of his life, although he couldn't really, you know, there was not much left. I guess, when you're feeling like in those traumatic instances, you feel like there's just not much left. But what he could grasp, he was going to take control of that, because he explained, like, after that experience, like, if I had nothing left, was coming back with a full grasp of life. Like, if I've lost everything else, what I've gained is a whole grasp on what life is. And he placed it as, like, you know, not viewing it as like the glass is like half empty, half full. Like, he has a whole glass. Like, he has the glass and has control. And I was just like, there were parts of it that really, I mean, it got me in my core. It made me very sad, because that's exactly everything that I'm living right now. Like, I, that story and maybe the way that it was edited and published, it wasn't really showing, it did have footages of his hardship, and like, there's no denying what he's gone through at all. Like, but I think for me, it really got to my core, because, like, with this type of trauma, you are really placed in so many situations. Like, how he unfolded this injury and how he overcame it is so true. Like, you know, you are constantly coming back from that trauma and reliving it every time somebody offers you help, every time somebody touches you, wants to pick you up, wants to help you walk, wants to hold you up. You are reliving that trauma over and over and over again, and people are telling you, well, at least you can stand, well, at least you can walk. And that is like, there's no controlling that. But when you are already in it, you feel like there's just no way out of being in it. You're just stuck in it and you can't get out. And somebody at every turn is constantly reminding you and constantly touching you and constantly, and they have good intent for the most part. Like, they just want to help. But you are constantly being told, like, you are handicapped, your limits, your possibilities. But it's you being given that perspective through being told you have a disability, or that comparison of like an able-bodied person. Like, that's where I've recently, I think I found a lot of frustration lately, is I constantly have I'm being given so much grief, or I constantly have so much guidance or treatment or care from able bodied individuals. Like, there has not been one person in my treatment plan that has either said, you know what, Evan, I've experienced, or I have paraplegia as well. I've experienced these things and I overcame them and I'm living with them. There has not been one person, and it's not that I can't feel like they can't relate. Like, apparently, one person had a disabled dad their whole lives, and that's all they've ever known him as. And that helped because that helped me, like, one, it helped me face my grief that I didn't even know I was grieving this loss until they shared that story with me about their dad being disabled. And it made me realize, like, it made me remember, but it made me realize that, like, this is not stopping me from being a dad. This is not stopping me from being a boyfriend, a husband, being in a wheelchair, or having this partial paraplegia, learning, like, learning medications, my medicine. Learning medicine is nothing, I think, when you're a very fragrant, artistic, luxurious man, I should say. Medicine is nothing because I think when you have grown up with a lifestyle or achieved a lifestyle, I think that everything else just is like minimal, like as far as disciplines go. And so, really comprehending my life is not difficult. I think it's more like acclimating and adjusting. And a lot of that is out of my control. A lot of that is literally the symptoms of surviving these near fatal injuries. And what I'm saying is, like, it didn't really show in this footage. Granted, it was only 10 minutes or so. It didn't really show, I suppose, like full, like deeper and raw, those hardships. But the way he explained it is like so true from beginning to end. How I say it unfolded, and how he discussed, you know, like, next thing you know, you're in a wheelchair and that becomes your life. And next thing you know, you're being defined by every single thing around you. And like I just mentioned, I have not had one person that has or is in the same situation that I'm in. Like, I think if, like, granted, I saw these videos of Nick Scott and I'm talking about them because they helped me, but like, I'm not saying I should have a Nick Scott like with my PT and in my OT and in my daily life, but like, truly, I I should, like, I yes, I can be that person for other people, but right now it's like, other than hearing him and seeing his story, I don't have that in my life, and that is frustrating because it's like I have nothing against any of my providers at all. But at the same time, it's like it would help me a lot, I feel, to have somebody like in my corner of the ring that has already won, like, a heavyweight champion, like that has already won the belt in the ring. And that would help me, I think. Like, somebody that isn't just talking or having empathy towards me, but somebody that real time is dealing with the same thing and has overcome the same things that I deal with daily. And that is hard because not many people survive what I survived. And I see people, I'm not saying that what they go through is not traumatic, I'm not taking away from it, but I see people have less impact from these incidents and they don't make it. Like, they don't even survive. They don't even survive the air, the momentum, they don't even survive before impact. Like they don't even survive that. They don't even survive the momentum of the event. Like, there's the cause and effect, but these people, when there's a cause, they don't even get to the effect part. Like there's the cause and getting through it, and then they don't even get to effect. Like they don't even surpass that brink of this is what's happening. They don't even make it. And I have spent some time, as difficult as it may be, I spent some time watching these types of incidents on YouTube, and a lot of them have like a disclosure warning, like warning what you're about to see. And I was like, okay, who cares? Like, I've already lived it, and I watch it anyway. And I'm like, wow, like a lot of these people, they just don't make it. And here I am, and I guess you can say it's survivor's guilt, but I see those things and I'm like, I cannot give up. For some reason, I'm still here. So I saw that story and it really just pulled at me. It pulled at me. It almost like pulled me out from the inside. I wouldn't say it gutted me, but it really just it brought me back to that moment of my accident where I just yelled for help at the top of my lungs. When I saw that video of Nick Scott, I almost felt like he like dug his hands through my mouth, down my throat, and pulled that young guy back out again, and was just telling me and telling him, even though I refer to him, that version of me, as dead and gone, he was just telling him like this was a possibility. You surviving that was a possibility. And that was just one out of so many possibilities and so many things that are still possible for me. So even though sadly that's just how the world is set up right now, in my world, I am surrounded by able bodied people that love me, that care about me, that remind me every day that even though the world is messed up and brutal and hard, that it's beautiful. Life is beautiful. The world may not always be beautiful, but life is beautiful. And I think just, I think what gets me through is just like those natural, beautiful reminders of people that I love. When I see certain colors in nature, I'm reminded of people that I love. When I see certain things, I'm reminded of people that I love. Even when I see spiders, as eerie as it may be, like it reminds me, like, you know, it just gives me like these subtle reminders of life. And I just got deep into the website and the videos of wheelchair bodybuilding, and one of I think it was at the top of the list of what can be done, like what you can do for cardio in a wheelchair, and one of those things is already on my list, which is wheelchair basketball. So soon I'll be able to do that, hopefully. But seeing him like literally live everything that I'm living, granted, I think that I struggle with my memory a lot, and that really holds me back and hangs me up. But when I saw him like walk across the stage and graduate, granted, I'm too smart for my own good. I'm not taking away from it. I'm in school now. But when I saw him just walk, And I was just like, wow, like this guy doesn't care what people think. Like, I walk and I constantly deal, like, even this morning, I'm like, should I be walking at the risk of falling? Should I be doing these things at the risk of falling and hurting myself more? No. But what can I do? And obviously, like, even with my dental care, I'm like, by the time the VA and everybody in the world sorts everything out, I'll be dead or I'll have no teeth. And I really do my best, but what can I do? Like, I had the greatest healthcare in the world and it failed me. It did not help me at all. I spent over $700 a month on the best healthcare that money can buy, and it never helped me once. I swear I've had 99-cent candy from Walmart that helped me more than that. And I had the best dental care money could buy, and I was able to, with an electric toothbrush, some very good mouthwash, and some dental floss and travel toothbrushes, fix my teeth and help my teeth more than that insurance could. Granted, my teeth are falling apart still. So I'm not sitting here saying that I've done everything all by myself. No. First and foremost, I know God has gotten me through this. People that love me have helped me. People that have supported me in so many ways have helped me. And yes, there are some, in some ways, those systems, although they failed me, they still were in place. I would probably be in a worse situation had they not been in place. And worser than worse is worser than worse. Worse. I don't know how much worser it can get, but I that's the best way I know how to, I can explain that. And so I just saw Nick Scott just like steadily walking across stage to get his diploma, to get his graduation, his university or his college degree, and I was just like, you know, I can, is that what my life is going to look like? Yes. Sadly, Nick has already lived the life that I'm going to live. Like, he is living it. He is walking in a way where it, like, how do I put this? He is walking, obviously, he's walking with strength, but he is walking in a way where he's an inspiration and he's defining all of the possibilities, like not the disabilities, but what is possible. And I feel like that's something he was blessed enough to have insight or have that transformation within himself, but for some reason I'm not able to do that right now. Like, my life isn't set up that way. And I can honestly say that. Like, I don't have that transformative perspective that Nick has. I never have. And maybe one day I will, but today I don't. Maybe one day I will have this self transformative moment where, you know, I I somehow transform in that way to where I can just constantly have that momentum, and that will be a possibility for me, but it's just not right now. I know it's not right now. Why? Because I wake up every day and I feel empty. I don't feel safe at times. I saw a video outside of Nick Scott's video of a guy who was a victim of crime and was shot through his spine. And he said that at times he fears and he gets scared because he's like, what if that woman or what if that person that shot me, that harmed me, like, what if I'm standing right next to her, she's right next to me in a grocery store, wherever, and I can relate. Like, what if that person that did what they did to me is somebody that I love? What if that person that did what they did to me is associated with somebody that I love? What if they are in bed with somebody that I love? Like, I pray for their safety. I pray, God, if so and so is involved in what happened to me, and I just pray that, I pray that they're safe, and God, please. And like, these are thoughts that I have. You know, what if this guy had something to do, which I know he had something to do either way, with what led to me, what happened to me. But I'm just like, I pray for this woman's safety, because if this person was capable of inciting so much violence and hatred towards me and envy towards me, I can only imagine what else they're capable of. So I just pray for others, and pray for whoever did this to me, they have a family too. They are somebody's something, they're somebody's partner, wife, husband, brother, sister, whatever. They are somebody in this world who has to live with what they did to me. Obviously, they don't have the confidence to directly tell me, like, hey, I'm the one who was behind the vehicle that struck you, which is weird because that man had more confidence than everybody I can think of. I saw this movie was when I was in the hospital after my spinal fusion surgery, and it was about this young boy who was dying, and everybody in the hospital was doubting that he'd survive. And his mom was like, everybody needs to pray for my son right now. Like, I don't even care. Like, I'm praying for my son. I'm praying in a spiritual way. I'm taking this to God, and I'm praying the whole way through this. And I remember in the hospital just looking at the TV and crying and thinking to myself, even though it's scripted, it's a movie, I remember thinking to myself, like, there's a part where all of the doctors and everybody in the room is just watching this kid. I think he's like feverish, I'm not sure, but they're just watching him and just hoping for the best. And I remember just thinking and saying, because I felt that before, like, I felt like where you're in a room full of all these, the greatest of the greats, the best of the best doctors and surgeons and people that love you, and those people are losing faith and losing hope in you, and just wishing for the best, and they're just complacent and like, well, that's just the way the world is, that's just the way life is. If this young man goes, that's just the reality of the world, how it is. And I remember thinking to myself and saying, if they only knew the real battle going on in that young man, like, if they only knew what really happens in those moments, because I've been there, you know, I've been a man that I can use my ego and say, I've had more strength than everybody in that hospital. And at times, maybe everybody in the world, to survive something like that. It's not an easy battle. Maybe it looks peaceful, maybe it looks easy, maybe it looks like a breeze and like just a swipe off your forehead of sweat. Like, whew, well, that's over and done with. But internally, inside, you know, I was fighting the biggest fight I ever fought for my life. And even though people say I'm always so kind, I'm always so soft, I'm always so nice, and I'm always so gentle, that day, I think that was probably the softest I've ever been in my life. That day, I just came to God and I said, God, please, just take me. But if this is it and you take me, this is what I pray for. Take me, God. Just don't let this person that I love suffer in this way. Just take me, but don't let her suffer. And everything that came after that was just a huge fight within myself, and naturally, like, nature took over, and that is something that you surrender to. I surrendered to nature. I mean, I didn't surrender in a spiritual way to God. I'll tell you that much. I didn't. Did I pray to God? Did I pray to a God I believe in? Yes. Did I believe that do I think and do I feel that I had some type of like manifesto, epiphany, aha, divine reality, supernatural moment? No. I stay strong in my true faith in religion and science, and understanding that natural forces of this world factually did what they did. I'm a human being on planet Earth, and Mother Nature was going to do everything to make sure that that stayed in balance, that my energy stayed in balance in the harmony of this world, and nothing was going to disrupt that. Not human behavior, not human intervention, or human probing, or human disruption of my life. Any type of altering that was artificial or unnatural towards me, any hate towards me, whatever led to that moment, Mother Nature was not going to allow it to disrupt her at all. And I stayed here and I survived that. And I truly believe it was Mother Nature. I truly believe it was the universe and planet Earth. And planet Earth, no matter what humans do to harm planet Earth, harm each other or harm it, planet Earth will do everything to protect itself. And I honestly do feel that Earth felt it needed me. And I honestly do feel that our entire solar system, our entire space, galaxy, and the ones after and around it came together to make sure that I stayed here. And I think all of that energy together really shows me that in so many ways I am a powerful human, but I can't fix everything and I don't know everything. And even overnight, I was just like, how can I have so many strengths and so much knowledge and so many things, and I can't even repair the simplest things like relationships? I, I don't know. That's just things that I'm not good at. But at least I can admit I'm not good at those things. And all I can do for whoever it was that did that to me is just pray for them. All I can do is pray for those people. When I worked at Tesla, I told people the truth. Like, you have this bolt loose from the railing of your car seat. It's dangerous to drive this. Hey, this is what happened. The truth about everything. The most difficult truths I told them about their car and the reality of their lives. It messed with their lives because this was their everything. This was their Tesla. They spent their life savings on it. Whatever it may be, they really depended on this vehicle. And whatever bad news I told them, you know, I just told them. It wasn't the easiest always, but I told them. And here I am. The person who did what they did to me doesn't even have any form of courage to just tell me, to just call me, to just say, hey, Evan, I'm so and I was the driver behind the vehicle. I just want to make sure that you're okay. Is there anything that I can do for you? Nothing. At this point, whoever did what they did to me, it's been 2 years, almost 3 years now. You could have called me and offered me a cup of coffee, bought me a cup of coffee, talk. You could have reached out, asked if there's anything that can be done to help me, buy me clothes, pay for all the things that I've gone through, help me get my wheelchair, whatever. You could have reached out in some way, shape, or form and been a real human being and done the right thing. And I pray that if you didn't have the words or the energy to speak or to call me or reach out to me or reach out to anyone and say, does Evan need help? Is there anything I could do for Evan? How is Evan doing? I pray that if you didn't have the energy to do those things, I pray that you at least have the energy to open your mouth and ask God for forgiveness for what you did to me and everything that you've done and continue to do to me. And I would say that maybe a couple seconds ago, I would have still appreciated you calling my phone or somehow reaching out in any way and saying, does anybody know the guy that I ran over with the car? Is he still alive? Is he okay? Is there anything I could do for him? That opportunity's gone. I would have really appreciated those things. It would have really helped. But at this point, all I can say is I hope whoever you are, I hope that you go to jail. I hope that you spend time in jail where you belong at this point, and I hope that you spend every single day in jail for the rest of your life. And I hope and pray that God shows mercy on you in this world and in the one after that. And sadly, I don't even think you can see past your moment. So I know you can't see past this world or the one after that and the one after that. But God is there and God knows you. I don't care who you are at this point. You could be the woman that I love with all my heart. I just hope that I have mercy and grace and compassion towards you. I say, considering it's June 27th and one day before Elon's birthday, I believe, if I'm not wrong, I think I've surpassed all of those gracious things. So, considering the timing, I've been more than nice. Someone called me being a phony the other day, and someone called me from the same company a couple months ago, I think in May, June, or April, close enough. And I reported that person. And what's the worst that could happen to that person? They got moved into another job. But for you, I don't care if it was a job. I don't care if you were hired to do what you did to me. I hope whatever money or whatever you gained from doing what you did to me, I hope it's worth spending the rest of your life in prison. And I know that what's worse than federal prison or worldly prison is the mental one that you're in right now, is the worldly one that you're in right now, is the fact that you don't even have the bravery or the courage or the American patriotism to call me and be real and say, I'm the one who did it to you. Be real about it. Because if I was paid to do it, or if I was bold enough to do what you did to me, I'd be the one to pick up the phone. The guy that shot the guy in the McDonald's, he sniped out the guy in McDonald's and killed him. Even he was bold enough and brave enough. He didn't gloat about it. He didn't say, "Yeah, I'm the one who sniped him out. I'm the one who shot him out." He had he had the real. It was not go, but he had the real cojones. He had the real balls to be man enough to say that was difficult for me to do. I had to do it. It was my job. He did it, and even he had the strength, the courage, the boldness to be there for the person's life that he took. Because that's what a real motherfucker does. A real person that knows, that is trained to the highest standard of the military, to the highest standard of loving their country. That's what they really do. They're not fake and flaky like whoever did what they did to me. There's no way. It's unreal. I don't, as horrible as some of the chaplains that I worked with, as drunk as they were, as greedy as they were, I can't think of one chaplain, however messed up things were, which is messed up. I can't think of one of them that through all that, people losing their lives, soldiers that died, officers that died, that they literally lost their life in the most horrific way overnight in a Humvee drowning in a lake. Imagine, imagine that type of leaving this world. They were soldiers that took their own lives. There were soldiers that took the lives of other soldiers. And more than that, and a lot of them, if they denied it at first, came to their senses and spoke up because they were in the military. And here I am in the civilian world surrounded by a bunch of phonies that question me, and they don't even question me in the most ethical way. They have no professionalism. They are not educated. They have alleged fake credentials, government credentials. They have the phoniest college credentials. They went to these Ivy League schools, but I have seen TikTokers and children with more IQ and more intelligence in them and speak to me nicer. I've seen people interact on social media with more professionalism than the people that call me at times. It's sad. And the fact that they're in some way, shape, or form associated with a federal agency is even sadder. Like, I have just no tolerance anymore. It's not that, like, hey, I'm standing up for myself. It's like, okay, yeah, I can stand up for myself safely. I've been there, done that, got the t shirt forever. Bye. I'm over it. It's just like, I've been degraded, so degrading me anymore, what? What do you have to gain from that? What do you have to gain from a man that's already lost his life? Like, what do you have to gain? It's like I was watching Rhode Island Housewives, and sadly, Liz told the truth. Like, when Joe Ellen came after Rula, like, it's like, all right, come on, Joe Ellen. Like, right now, you're just going after low hanging fruit. Like, I was injured in 2022, and everything that came after that, like, I tried to do the right thing in my marriage. Like, in my marriage with my corporation, with the corporation that I work for, in that relationship, in that agreement, I did everything. I was loyal to a company. I was loyal to a man, which is weird to say from one man to another man. Like, that's weird. I was loyal to his corporate agenda, to his greed, to his um, his metric of production of what being productive in your life should look like, what being productive in his life should look like. Like, by his metric and his measures, I was living my entire life. That's weirdo stuff. That's weird. I knew that then, and I know that now. I knew that then, and I wouldn't bend over it. So I dealt with what came with that. What comes with a young man saying this is weirdo stuff that's going on here, like, this is weirdo stuff. Weirdo stuff that these grown men are calling you daddy. Weirdo stuff that these grown men, like, this is weirdo stuff. This is weird. I don't do this stuff. This is not what I signed up for. I didn't sign up for this stuff. Not only did I understand, like, I didn't sign up for this, I was put in a place where I was sick and tired of people making these remarks towards me about what I was, who I was, what are you, who are you, call me the N word, call me homie when I earned my freaking career, and they were just off the block and talking to me like I was off the block, and I'm not off the block. Like, I earned my career, I made my living, I made the sacrifice that they did not make to be there. And a lot of them were frustrated and having this aggression towards me, microaggressions toward me that escalated because they would say, well, I've been here since the beginning of Fremont. I've been here since the beginning of the company, since, and you just started 16 weeks ago. Yeah, okay. And I started 16 weeks ago, but I can build an LS engine with my eyes closed in my sleep. I made the sacrifices for 16 weeks straight to learn the high voltage architecture in every blueprint of low voltage, high voltage, whatever's in between, the architecture of every single model vehicle, including the vehicles that didn't even have the structure in them, such as the Roadster. Like, I'm the one who put in all of this time, effort, and energy. I made the sacrifice. And not only did I make the sacrifice, but at the time my spouse did. So, I mean, what was going on here? It was weirdo stuff. I was tired of people making remarks of, I mean, I was surrounded by other scientists, I was surrounded by other engineers. It's not like anyone could describe. Like, I understand why NASA doesn't have a full grasp. Maybe they're starting to come around to maybe more of what's been happening in operations is like the culture of Starlink and Tesla and Neuralink and maybe more of Elon's vibe about how he operates. I think they're starting to come to that understanding, but I don't think they'll ever truly understand what he's already done, what he's already, like, how truly rotted he can rot an ecosystem. And sadly, I think a lot of, well, sadly, I think like 99.9% of how he rots an ecosystem is intentional because he has been rejected. He's been publicly, openly rejected by the government and by the country, and that was a rejection he never really accepted or came back from. Instead, he came back with hostility and takeover, which is what he did and which is what he continues to do. He was rejected for his ideas at one point and didn't take that well, and so he took over. He couldn't take no for an answer from the United States government or from people that truly told him the truth, and maybe not a truth that he wanted to hear or face, but it's not that the world isn't ready for his ideas or the ideas, or that the world isn't set up for them or can't be set up for them. I think that in that time, maybe not present day, but I think that in that time, there wasn't much, there was still so much to know and to learn and be, you got to know your crowd. I don't think you have to know your demographic. Like, you don't have to know the race. You don't have to know every single biomark of your crowd, but you got to know your crowd and you got to know your audience. And I think that he went to the White House and he went to these big wigs not knowing his audience. And he's not going to know his audience because he's not from here. And that doesn't mean he can't get to know his audience. I think that he didn't know his audience then. I think that there's an opportunity that can be made now and in the future for him to get to know his audience. But the way he's gone about it, past, present, and so far, from what it seems like he's going about it, and I hope that I can really bring this to a halt. Like, you can't go rampant on your spree of reject. Like, know your crowd. Clearly you have a crowd now. Clearly you have a platform. You have followers. On top of your own followers, you have MAGA now that worships and idolizes you. So do something with that. That's your new crowd. You know, going back into Washington and going back into the government and politics, clearly all that does is set back everything. So now that you have eyes watching and a crowd that maybe now with modern day and how things are set up won't reject you, will actually accept the ideas, I hope that he does the right thing. And all I can do is be a leader. Like, all I can do is lead the way and Sadly, this is a situation where, like I say about Governor Abbott, like, hey, you failed Texas, but Texas didn't fail you. You know, Elon may have failed the company and failed Tesla, but Tesla didn't fail Elon. More importantly, this country didn't fail him because I, as an American soldier, I learned the soldier's creed at a very young age. I learned integrity that was not corporate integrity. I learned real integrity of not denying my brother and sister to my left and my right, whatever they identified, whoever they were, however they bled out. It was battle buddy, battle buddy. We saved each other's lives. We pulled each other through it, regardless of everything that we went through and everything that I was going through and everything that was lost then. Like, that's real. And as much as all of that and my identity and my person has been questioned, it's sad. I serve my country. Don't fucking question me. Question the man who has no stake and no origin in this country. Question that person. Question that man. So this country didn't fail him because I'm not failing my country and my loyalties to my country, the United States, and my God, the God that I believe in, the God that made all things possible when the world said it wasn't possible for me to walk, talk, use my arm again. They said if I lifted this arm past this, if I ever did this, they said that I would never be able to use it again. And here I am using my arm. So I'll be the better person. I'll lead by example, even though I'm vlogging for an hour and it seems like I'm just a loser, rotting away, wasting my life. The reality is that I'm not. The reality is that I'm talking and speaking truth, a truth that is difficult for a lot to accept. It's easier to say, like, whatever his name was, Paul, whatever his name is, that lawyer, it'll come to me, whatever his name was. I don't know. I exposed him to whatever his name was. He didn't wow me. He was dumb and an idiot and an Elon fanboy. But that's weird. Like, you're an old grown man. And I'm not ageist, I don't discriminate, but that's the reality. Like, and you're over here worshiping another man. Like, that's weird. But all those things that he said about me, I serve my country. This man knows it. Lawyer or not, be real. Don't attack me that way. Don't say those things about me. He said, "Oh, you reported me, trying to put me in jail because I did this and that." Yes, and you should go to jail. And you should never be able to practice law again. You should go, I don't know, advocate for, I don't know, puppies in a puppy pound or something because you probably actually don't because that's not good. You wouldn't be good at that. I don't know. You, he failed at representing $1 billion insurance company, so he shouldn't even be selling health insurance. So I don't know what kind of job he can get, but he'll find something, I suppose. I don't know. Maybe go start by being a good husband, or being a good dad, or something. Be good at something else instead of worshiping and being a fanboy over this guy. It's just been unreal. It's easier, like that guy, to say and accuse a man like me and say openly in public on the record that a man like me spiraled out mentally instead of the truth. I'm already 30 seconds close to an hour on this live stream. The truth is that I knew very early on that I was smarter than the man that I work for. And the truth is that it's easier for guys like Robert Heckler, the janitor Robert Howard, Paul Chief Odin, the guy that fabricated his name on the police report, you know, this guy, whatever his name is, a lawyer, all these people that hardly know me, it's easier for them to call me crazy, say that I have mental issues, and that I spiraled out. Other people outside of them, I'm sure there's men, women, she, he, they, them, whatever, I don't care. It's easier for these people to say that I'm the one with the problem than the truth. Trust me, I'm right there with you. I wanted to join the crowd. I've wanted to join you guys. And I said, God, can I just be as dumb as them and join them? And it's not in my plans. It's not in my plans to join you. It's not in my plans to be around people like you. You know, all I can do is lead the way for you. And if you choose to stay in that crowd of crappy people, that's your choice. But the truth and the fact is that people like you, I think you just choose not to accept the truth that a man like me is more intelligent than Elon Musk, that a man like me has more intelligence, is more intelligent than the man that I worked for. I knew that when I was there, and then I never, ever doubted my own intelligence. If anything, now I'm just like, it kind of makes me sick how smart I am. You know, I'm not ashamed. I'm not ashamed of telling the truth. Evan Mendez is more intelligent than Elon Musk. That is fact. So that is a fact, that is truth, and that is a fact and a truth that so many of you guys either watching or you guys that have done what you've done to me cannot accept. And I could care less about how I'm criticized for saying that. Judge me. Oh well, I don't care. At the end of the day, it's like I say, at the end of the day, it's my name on that paper. At the end of the day, it's Evan Mendes versus Tesla Inc. and Elon Musk. At the end of the day, this is me, my life for the rest of my life. This is not about what happened to you, where were you hurt, where were you injured. This is my life. And a life that you don't like, even the most scripted greatest character, even Marlon Brando knew that puppeteering is not something that can you can't articulate that and you can't be played. Like even the great Oz, like even if you say, well, oh, there was the great Oz in Hollywood, like Marlon Brando understood something about playing Don Corleone. Don Corleone, you can say in a mob way or in an organizational way, you can say he pulled the strings. And Marlon understood his role. I think Marlon surpassed his role, Don Corleone. Marlon brought more than lights, camera, action to this role. Me, I have known my role. I have known who my character is, me, Evan Mendes. I've known myself, my identity, who I am. I don't have an identity crisis. I don't have imposter syndrome. I don't. Do I have the technological skills? Am I well rounded, well versed in technology? Duh. How else do you think you can survive in a technocratic world? Idiots. Deal with it. Get with the program, like they say. Not my problem. But my thing is, when you really see Marlon, and not just who he is throughout those movies, but he didn't pull strings. He didn't craft the strings. He didn't import the strings. To him, these people wanted that and saw that. And he chose not to be a part of that. It's like I always say, organized corruption and an organized corporation operate the same. He organized his character. He organized himself to play the part of Don Corleone. That's how he grasped this character. And, like, how do I grasp the full message of the Godfather movies? That you have to believe that anything is possible. And that doesn't make somebody imaginative or inspired. That is just like G Easy says, everybody hits, man. Welcome to the mob. Like the consigliere said, you have to believe that these things are possible, that anything is possible. But he would not have said that. What led to him saying that was how Marlon played his role and his character. Like when Mike is like, well, we got to go after this guy. Like, we got to do this, Sonny. Come on. And Sonny's like, are you nuts? Like, what has gotten into you? Like, and that's when the consigliere says, okay, well, you know, how do we really bring some form of, I guess, reason and logic into what's about to happen? Which ultimately, Sonny lost his life anyway. But I mean, there had to be some like level. I mean, somebody had to be level headed in all of this. But what led to those moments was Don's presence, Don Corleone's presence, and he was organized. When he got hit in the market, like you have to understand, like what he brought to that role. Many people will not see. I will see because I'm Evan Mendez, but many people will not see. Like he was in the fruit market doing what he normally does, which is getting fruit. What he makes, like somebody who's really paying attention, he makes them know that he's doing something that he already normally does, which is go get fruit in the market. And he, I think it's oranges. Like he is already one step ahead of everybody else. He's already preparing for the hit. He knows the hit is going to come for him. Like he already knows. He is organized. He's organized himself. He has organized this whole thing. And he goes to the market. You know, he's already preparing to heal from what is about to happen to him. And it happens to him. Like, that's out of his control. That's how I have always been internally. And now externally, I'm showing it. So now I've always been the screenwriter. I've always been behind the curtains, behind the scenes. And now I'm here on YouTube Live, bringing that Brando energy to YouTube. So I I wish and I prayed at times that I could be. I've seen people, I've seen men lay down in beds. I was at this luxury apartments, the Grand at La Centera, and I walked around one day. I think I was in my stroller, who knows, I don't know. But anyways, I walked around and I saw through a window and the guy was just laying there, just brain rotting, just rotting away, like laying there on his phone, just like he was just laying there like this, legs up in the air, laying on his back up with his phone in the air. And I'm just thinking to myself, God, I wish I could be that carefree. I wish I could just lay there dumb AF. Like, not saying he's dumb, but I really wish I could be dumb. I wish I could just operate at that way, at that level. My life would be so much easier. But that's just not in the cards for me. So, what's in the cards for me is is I have a bruise now on the right side behind my knee because I still have mentally the I suppose like mentally I still feel like I can just do whatever I want, move however I want. And now that I'm healing and have some pain relief, I just bumped into something I stubbed my toe and hurt myself here and there, but I have to slow myself down and say, I need to be careful. Just because I just started getting pain relief or some form of relief doesn't mean I just take off. So my purpose is to take things slowly and accept my new life is grabbing my legs over the bed, rolling in and out of bed, and slowly, safely, and but moving because although I battle with my mind constantly, like just I'd rather be dumb. I'm not gonna get anywhere that way. I just now see things, the reality that I'm unashamed. I'm not ashamed to love who I love, to be who I am. Um, being real, be real. Like my line is open. See, it's 10:27 a.m. Yeah, I'm at night. I mean, my line's open. Like these people act like they don't got social media. Like there is, even in the middle of nowhere, West Columbia, Texas, there's some type of carbon footprint who did what they did to me. So my phone's not ringing right now. It rings every other time, Monday through Friday, and it's rang in the past over the weekend. It's still not ringing. I'm waiting. It's not ringing now. Call me. Tell me who did this to me. But God sees all that. God sees me now in this moment. He knows me. He knows my heart. And the greatest thing is to love, and love wins every time. I saw that on a hand soap bottle. It said love wins every time. So that's how I feel. Love wins every time. I know that no matter what I've ever done, I know that I would pick up the phone and I would call and say, "Hey, I did this to you for whatever reason. Is there anything that I can do?" But obviously that's something that these people feel they need to operate and be hidden, and nothing is hidden. God sees it all. God sees everything. So just pray for those people. Pray for me. Pray for them because they need it more than me. Really, I know that I'm in God's hands and God has me. But I really do hope. One, I know I deserve to know who did what they did to me, regardless of who they are. And at this point, I can only speculate. You know, really, I can speculate to a point, but to a point now, I'm beyond equipped to take care of myself. It may not be in a normal way. I may not walk normal. I may not talk normal. I may need help to and from. I may wear diapers, whatever. But I'm good. Like, I would rather be in diapers than be Chief Odin. I would rather be in diapers than be Bo Stallman, phony Bo Stallman, Leonard Stallman. I would rather be in diapers than be that phony lawyer, whatever his name, Paul. I would rather be in diapers than be Josh Ordaway. Like, I would rather be in diapers than be These phony people. What have I ever done to these men? What have I ever done to these people? Nothing. I've just been myself. And the fact is that they've discovered a truth about me, that I actually achieve things in life, that I actually work for a man that they worship and drool over, which is sick, and they can't handle it. And now, like, I see people, they're like, oh, well, my nephew works there, and I think I've heard my nephew works there like two times already. I think the lady at Family Dental, Lake Jackson, said somebody there works at Tesla, and one of my wheelchair drivers said the nephew works at Tesla. And I'm like, it'll never be the same. Victor Gomez died. I almost died. I did die. So, in between all this and after, the Austin shooter was basically at Giga Texas, and Zurich was involved again. And this woman was injured in the workplace and tried to sound the alarm. And what did Zurich do to her? Everything they did to me. So it'll never be the same. And I just hope that it'll never be the same in a positive way. It'll never be the same in the sense that there's too much money here. And there's not one reason. And the fact of the matter is, like, the situation and the circumstance that I'm in right now, can I be that power player that levels out the playing field in the sense that, like, the money can move from a corporate structure to the government structure overnight? No. Will that happen tomorrow? No. But what can happen tomorrow is that the government stops handing over all of these contracts that are without any oversight, or all of this money and all of these grants to corporations and nonprofits that are unregulated, unsupervised, have no oversight. I don't care if it's the freaking conservation for polar bears or conservation for sea turtles or the freaking conservation or the historic preservation of Teletubbies. I don't care. There needs to be some form of oversight and enforcement and countermeasures. And the reality is that the government and the White House, they don't need to shut down. What needs to happen is they need to put a stop and cease and halt every single government contract. If it's an employee, they need to stop. If it's a vendor contract, they need to stop it. Whatever contract it is, they need to put a pause on it. If it's to any corporation, they need to just terminate all those corporate contracts. If it's something related to VHA, DOV, the veterans getting help and care, that's cool. There's nothing wrong with that. All the healthcare for veterans and all the healthcare for soldiers, all the healthcare for the military, including veterans and their families, active duty, every single form of veteran military care, that should not stop, because tactical operations and daily operations, here's your brief, Sergeant Major, here's your brief chaplain for the day, right here. All this corporate all this corporate crap. If you want to seize anything, seize those contracts from all these corporations and stop them. They have more than enough money. All that money needs to just be stopped and funneled back into where it's being taken from. Funnel it back to the government entities that have rats in their offices, like the IRS. I mean, come on now. Like, you have no government accountability for these corporations that are committing fraud and worse crimes. Well, maybe because you're giving them all the money in the world from these accounts, and the poor IRS workers are basically breeding hantavirus in their offices. So, like I just said, will I be that power player that can miraculously make those corporate funds and deposit them into government accounts? No. But I think that what is doable, what is achievable, is the government stopping all of that money. Stop giving that money to Tesla. Stop giving that money to SpaceX, to Neuralink, to X. Stop giving that money to Jeff Bezos and Blue Origin and Blue Falcon or whatever it is. They have more than enough money. You can cut off all those contracts and they can flip that money, what's left from that, they can flip it probably a million times over. They can lose it a million times over and it wouldn't hurt them. Well, I've said my piece. I've been here too long. I'm behind schedule. Hopefully, I have enough juice to get to the library. I obviously need to get all this off my chest and talk it out. I just pray that God gives me the strength in my legs to brush my teeth, wash the crust off my eyes, and go outside and be one with the force and the force one with me. And I'm sick and tired of all this baloney. Like, I just want to feel safe. I just want to go outside and feel safe. I just want to be safe and feel safe here. And I don't. I I I wish I did, but I'm tired. Like, what is so questionable about me? Like, what are you questioning? Questioning me? That's sad. I feel sorry for you. Like, look at your own people. Like, look at your own body. Look at yourself. Like, figure yourself out before you try to figure me out. And if it's your job to figure humans and people out, then maybe the exploration should be within yourself. And not, don't come at me. Just don't come at me, bro. Don't come at me. I don't treat people like crap. I don't snap like welcome to Rhode Island, B word. You know, I have an hour video on my phone of being in the workplace at Tesla and all these people saying the N word and the N word playing in the background. And I've tried to upload it multiple times to YouTube and it bounces back. So, I mean, I got the receipts. I think I have an audio recording somewhere. I mean, I could easily have put all this stuff on the internet a long time ago. I have more clout from a crawfish video, from food videos, than I do from my Tesla stuff. So I'm over it. I'm speaking the truth. I'm speaking facts. If people can't put the pieces together, that's not my problem. Kenny Lou, he, I don't know if he got this from hackers. I don't know how he got it on his phone, but he showed me, and I, I'm the one who, I don't want to say I took it from him, but I'm the one who somehow I was like, this is not okay, this is not right. But somehow, I don't know if he was trying to hack in or somehow he got the VIN for a black matte Model Y that had Elon's name in the VIN. And he showed it to me. He's like, hey, look. Fucking idiot that he was. Like a dumbass. I did what he told me to do because Ari, my spouse at the time, was like, Evan, why can't you just shut up and do what you're told in the workplace? And Why? In my head, I was like, because the shit's fucking dangerous and not supposed to be doing that. Not supposed to be just driving those cars. It's dangerous. There were people coming in angry to the service center saying they didn't even make it 5 miles down the road without crashing. And he told me to go get a car that I already knew was unsafe, that I told him was unsafe, that I told him was not calibrated. And I was like, well, if I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna screen record the movement of the car, which I did, and I had an accident in it. But my thing is this. My thing is, I did what I was told to do by this idiot, and this idiot, I don't know how he got it, but he had a VIN with Elon's name in the VIN and personal identification, like his personal information. So if people, like, if these agencies can't, I can't, like, I don't know how it's like, what, like, how far Barney, ABC 123, am I supposed to get for these people? Like, it's my job just to report, and I was just trying to genuinely just get help. Someone asked me, Shelby, Sarah Shelby was his name, lady's name. Let's see. I don't know. Is it this one? Let's see. I don't know if it's this one, this one, this one. Shelby. Shelby called me and asked me, what do you want? Uh, to get help, to be helped. That's all I wanted. What else would a 30-year-old man that says these vehicles are unsafe and he got hurt in the workplace want? I don't know, but I guess it took however many years to figure it out. Idiots. Call me ungrateful. I don't care. I did the right thing. I don't know how else to piece the pieces together for these people. I give you permission. There is not one American president, including the one that's in place right now, that I, Evan Mendez, give America permission to look at my tax records, to look at my medical records, to look at everything. Go for it. I am not afraid. I'm not ashamed to show the world who I am at all. And that's way more than anybody on the planet that has world power can say. A lot of those people, they have too much corrupt power to care who's going to question them, and they hide everything or cook their books. I don't care. All I care about right now is baby grass. All I care about right now is soil. All I care about right now is that God, I hope He answers my prayers, and I hope that I can be safe, that my family can be safe, considering what I've gone through and what I'm still going through. I pray that I can finally just wake up one morning and have just real peace of like, I'm safe and I have my own place or a place where my family can be okay. Like, why is it that my family and that I suffer in such a way that they don't deserve? There's no reason right now that I should not have my own house. There is no reason right now that I should not have some kind of a job. There is no reason right now for a lot of things, but they are. And I can't fix stupid at the end of the day. And because people are so stupid, And because people are so racist, I have to sit here and be careful throughout my day. If I ride my wheelchair down the road, this idiot lady in a white Bronco with McKenna on her rear window just waving honky dory like this is somebody. I don't care who she is. This is somebody later down the road. The EMS engine one is gonna see within the next 10 minutes. Like, but it's my adversity that I'm facing. I'm a human being. I do the right thing. Just do the right thing. I leave people alone. Leave me alone. I have every right, just like everybody else. If a grown man touched you, I would hope you could report it to somebody and somebody does something about it. But guess what? I'm not sitting here and saying that because it happened to me, I hope it happens to you. I'm saying it happened to me and I hope it doesn't happen to you. And I'm doing everything that I can so it doesn't happen to me again. And in that process, I hope that people take action so it doesn't happen to anybody ever else again. And guess what? All that stuff still continues to fail me. And all I can do is just report these things and not investigate them. And thankfully, I have worked my butt off in this process. I may not be Nick Scott and work my butt off in a physical way. I may not be like a lot of other people and do things in other type of ways, but I have worked my butt off in this process to make a way for me to investigate things for myself. And that has brought me a sense of peace. And now I've been working with Seneca to protect my peace and guard my peace. So thank you. Thank you for chiming into my stuff.